You do not love the person the way you believe you do. You love the story you built within yourself. And that story becomes so vivid that it begins to replace reality without you even noticing, as if something inside you needed to believe more in what you feel than in what you see. And then, little by little, you stop seeing the one who is in front of you, and you begin to see the one you wish were there. There is a silent moment, almost imperceptible, in which love stops being an encounter and becomes a projection. You feel intensity, but you do not know exactly where it comes from. You feel connection, but something always seems to slip away, as if the person were never enough, or perhaps never truly real. And that creates confusion, because everything within you says it is true, but something deeper whispers that it is not complete. You cling to the details that confirm your fantasy. You ignore the signs that do not align with it, and you slowly construct an idealized version, more beautiful, deeper, more perfect than any human being could ever be. And without realizing it, you begin to relate to that idea, and not to the person. But why does this happen? Why do we feel so much for something that is not entirely real? Why do we surrender to inner images as if they were inevitable destinies? Perhaps because there is something within you that seeks to be seen. Something ancient, silent, and deeply forgotten. And when someone appears, you do not just see who they are. You see what was missing within you, and you call that love. It is like a mirror that does not reflect the other, but reflects yourself. You believe you are connecting, but in truth, you are encountering parts of yourself, parts that remained hidden, parts that were never understood, and then when someone awakens that, you feel as if it is something unique. As if you have finally found someone special. But what you found was an echo of what lives within you, and that echo repeats itself in different faces, in different stories, but with the same feeling, the same intensity, the same emptiness at the end. Because the problem was never the person, nor love itself, but the way you relate to what you feel. You create silent expectations that no one can fulfill. You project deep meanings onto simple gestures and transform small connections into vast inner narratives. And when reality does not match, you suffer, not because of the person, but because of the collapse of the idea. And it hurts in a strange way, because it feels like love, but also like illusion. And deep inside, you begin to realize that it was not exactly about them. It was about you, about what you needed to feel, about what you longed to experience, and that found a way to exist through someone. But never truly with someone. There is a name for this within analytical psychology, and it is not simple, but it is deeply revealing. It is called projection. It is when unconscious parts of you are placed onto another, as if they belong to them, but in truth, they belong to you. You do not see the person as they are. You see what you carry within, and this is not a mistake. It is a mechanism. It is the way the psyche finds to reveal what has not yet been integrated. Carl Jung expressed this with profound clarity. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Carl Jung. But it is not only what irritates, it is also what enchants, what fascinates, what captivates. Because what you see in the other is often what you have not yet recognized in yourself, whether it is light or shadow, whether it is love or lack. And when this projection happens, you feel intensity, but you do not see clearly. You feel truth, but you do not perceive the whole. And so you live relationships that seem deep, but are in fact encounters with inner parts, asking for awareness, asking for integration, asking for recognition, and perhaps what you called love was always a calling to return to yourself. And when this begins to be seen, something within you slows down, not because everything is resolved, but because something has finally been understood, you begin to see differently. Not only the other, but yourself as well. You realize that not everything you felt was about that person, and not everything you sought could be found outside. And this does not take away the beauty of the feeling, but it brings truth into it, a quieter truth, a more honest one, a more complete one. You can still love, but now with more presence, without needing the other to carry what is yours, without needing reality to bend to your imagination. And that changes everything. Because love stops being an escape and begins to be a real encounter, with limits, with imperfections, with humanity. And perhaps for the first time, you begin to see the other as they are, and yourself as well, without masks, without invented stories, only presence. And at the core of all this, there is a different silence, a silence that does not weigh, but embraces, like a calm sea after the storm, like a mirror that finally reflects without distortion, like a flame that no longer needs to burn intensely, only to exist. If this reflection touched you, write in the comments the word projection, because it is by recognizing projection that we begin to see what has always been within us, waiting to be seen.